Find out what happened at this morning's licensing authority hearing on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, May 18th, 2015. I'm Sarah Mannel. The district manager of the 7-Eleven on Main Street in Hyannis says health code violations were due to a change in management. 7-Eleven field consultant Blake Cruikshank appeared before the licensing authority this morning for a show cause hearing. The hearing was scheduled after the store was shut down for 2 days in April due to multiple health code violations. Health Division Director Tom McKean started off the hearing by detailing some of those violations.
On April 10th, 2015, there were multiple violations, several critical violations. No hot water, a plugged up men's toilet, no trained staff on site in ServSafe or food manager training. But the main reason for closure that day was operation without a permit from the Board of Health. The store remained closed for 5 days on April 15th. They were allowed to reopen once they obtained a permit and they passed inspection. That's all I have.
Did they have any other penalty from your board, just that the closure for the 5 days until they were in compliance?
That was it, just the closure for 5 days.
Now, who is the manager there? Do you know?
No, I don't.
Is the manager of record still Paul McGowan?
At that time, we were told that he had left the premises without telling anyone. He didn't tell the Board of Health, so we didn't have any information as to who would be the new manager or anything on that.
Okay, and what is your name, sir?
My name is Blake Cruikshank.
And what is your capacity?
I'm a field consultant with 7-Eleven.
Okay, do you have any questions for the Director of Public Health?
I do not, no.
Okay. Would you
Mr.
please...
Chair? I'm sorry, your role as field consultant, are you one of the owners? Or?
No, field consultant, I work for 7-Eleven corporate. It's like a district manager position.
Okay.
So I cover 13 stores, this one being one of them.
So you're part of the new team that's taken over from the corporate?
Yeah, Paul was a franchisee owner. We took it over from him and made it a corporate store.
Will you be covering the store personally, or are you going to have someone manage the store on a daily basis?
I will not. When we took over, day one, we always bring in a manager, which we did. He has recently left, but we have a new manager in there. Her name's Roberta Smith.
Is she here?
She is not here. No, sir.
Why is she not here? She should be here.
I didn't know she needed to be here.
Well, you have an application after the show cause for the new corporate name with the new manager, am I right?
Not that.
Yeah, you have an application after this for the common vittler.
Okay, I didn't know she needed to be here. I just said a representative in the letter, and I'm representing the company.
So we would be approving a new manager if we...
If you get through the show cause
Right.
issue, then you have the application after that, yes.
Okay, tell us what happened here after Mr. McGowan left. What happened to this premises?
We took it over, made it a corporate store, and then the licensing, we didn't get the proper licensing for the Board of Health. I didn't know we needed to. Usually we have someone in Dallas, Texas. Our corporate office handle all that. Somewhere the ball was dropped, it basically falls on me because it's my store. So we resolved all the issues, took care of all the inspectors' concerns, got the license. We have 3 ServSafe people on staff now. One's there all the time, and that's it.
Well, how did it deteriorate? It passed inspections before, I understand, and now the place was kind of in deplorable conditions. How did that occur?
Just lack of management. We're in the middle of a manager change. Like I said, the first manager left. Took me a couple weeks to hire a new one. Then brought her in, got her trained, and then went from there.
Director of Regulatory Services Richard Scally says the town has received many complaints since the 7-Eleven changed hands.
You know, I have to tell you, since you took over, I think it was December?
December 11th.
There were numerous complaints. I mean, from the bid, from people on, in the on the street, people using the bathrooms that shouldn't be. So somewhere along the line, someone really dropped the ball in terms of taking over that location. So I don't know, between December and now, who was supposed to be there and monitoring that location is the key. So, I mean, I think you've corrected all the health code violations according to Mr. McKeon, but it sounds like that was your job to make sure that was taking place.
It was my job to make sure everything was taking place. Since we've made it a corporate store, it's done better than, in our eyes, than the previous owner. So, as far as sales and all that stuff, and taking care of the community.
Who's running the store at the moment, as we speak, while you're here?
My assistant manager is there. I'm not we're a corporate store, so we have like any retailer, store manager, assistant manager, and then I'm the district manager. I oversee that store along with 12 other stores.
Mr. Berman.
Who did we issue a license to back when they opened, so to speak?
When you opened originally?
Corporate.
No, it was a franchisee at the time.
So how has it been operated since then? Since we issued the license to, they've been operating illegally, in my opinion.
Barnstable Police Officer Stephen Marr had his own questions for Crookshank.
You're next.
Sir, how many times have you been in the store after 10 o'clock at night?
After 10 o'clock at night, since we've had it as a corporate store, or you mean in general? Since we had a corporate store, twice. And I'll be there Wednesday after 10 as well.
Ever been there on a weekend after 10 o'clock at night?
After 10 o'clock at night, no, sir.
Are you aware of some of the problems that happen after 10 o'clock at night at that store?
I am.
And what are they?
There's drug, alcohol usage, there's people loitering, theft.
What steps have you taken to take care of that problem?
Well, we addressed all the town's concerns. We've locked the bathrooms. We have them under key. We've have extra staff on now each shift. They're moving the loiterers around with the help of the police department. We're moving them off the sidewalk and out of the store, and addressing any concerns as needed.
I can tell you that as early as last weekend that's not the case.
Which part, sir?
All of what you just said. That your store employees are letting people in the store after 1 o'clock. That they're letting people stay outside the store after 1 o'clock. The employee you have working there after 1 o'clock lets his girlfriend stay inside the store.
Okay, well, that's a concern. They should be closed from 1 to 3. That's the town ordinance, so we should be closed from 1 to 3. So you're telling me that's not happening?
No, it's not.
I will address that immediately, and
Thank
I will
you, Mr.
fix
Chairman.
the other issue.
Executive Director of the Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement District, Elizabeth Werfbane, says that while some things have improved at 7-Eleven, there are still steps that need to be taken to improve safety.
I know Blake, and we've had a meeting with Blake and his group, Mary, who's the corporate, also a corporate person, and also with Roberta, the manager, and with Jeannie Chalice from the CIU unit, and also I know you've met with Mark Ells, also about the establishment. I have seen improvements since you had closed down and you changed some of your staffing, and also the tables being removed and the bathrooms being locked. Those are already immediate improvements. We moved the trash can, which made a huge improvement, simple thing, and we have a Main Street person who helps move people along, but I still would reiterate what patrolman brought up, that you really have to be diligent in that location. You're really in a key spot for Main Street. It's so visible, and it's so close to areas where you would have a lot of loitering and stealing and things that we don't want.
The licensing authority found the establishment guilty of lack of supervision and follow-through on the Town of Barnstable regulations. The licensing board voted to suspend 7-Eleven's operating license for 1 day. That punishment will be held for 1 year unless any violations continue. The school committee meets tonight at 7 o'clock in the Town Hall hearing room. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program Barnstable This Morning weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with State Senator Dan Wolf. We'll learn about an inspiring teacher at Barnstable High School for our community profile segment. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.